Welcome back, heroes of courage. It's me here, your guide into the wild world of horses. We understand that some people think horses are just big animals, but they are much more than that. They have feelings too, and if you treat them badly, they can get very scared and even violent. So if you want to work with horses, you need to know how they act, why they do things, and how they learn. That way you can keep both yourself and the horse safe. Just talking softly and calmly to them won't always help. You need to understand what they're trying to say and be ready to change how you act. I have been working with horses for a long time, and this story shows how important it is to be patient and kind to horses, especially when they are afraid or hurt. A little understanding and care can make a big difference and sometimes even change a horse's life. This story is from Tennessee, United States. One afternoon, someone found an old gray carriage horse that belonged to a farmer named John. The horse was hurt and afraid and didn't know where he was or how he got there. When Elizabeth saw the horse, she felt sorry for him and wanted to help. She could see that the horse had recently lost weight, had a wound on his left front leg, and was having trouble standing up. Elizabeth knew that if she could only get close enough to touch his shoulder, he might calm down a bit. But it was hard to get near the horse because he was so scared. So she had to go slow and take her time. She needed to earn the horse's trust before she could do anything else. Elizabeth understood that the horse was very afraid, and she knew that she couldn't force herself on him. So she stood still and waited for the horse to come closer. She stayed quiet and still for a long time, but the horse was still nervous. When the horse started to calm down a bit, Elizabeth slowly got closer. She was still worried that he might run away, but she also wanted to help him. As Elizabeth slowly walked towards the horse, she made sure to stay calm and relaxed. She knew that the horse could sense her emotions and that if she was nervous or scared, he would become anxious too. As Elizabeth got closer to the horse, she could see that his body language was slowly changing. At first, he had been shaking and trembling, but now his movements were slower and more controlled. His eyes were still wide and scared, but he was starting to look at her. Elizabeth was excited, but she knew that she had to be patient. After a while, she finally reached out her hand and touched his shoulder. The horse flinched at first, but then he relaxed a bit. It was a small victory, but Elizabeth was happy that he trusted her enough to let her touch him. After a while, Elizabeth tried to pet the horse, but he kept moving away from her. She didn't want to upset him, so she stopped and backed off. But then something amazing happened. The horse took a step toward her and let her pet him. Elizabeth was so happy that she almost cried. It was such a touching moment, and she knew that it was a sign of trust. The horse was very skinny, and Elizabeth could feel his ribs through his skin. She knew that he hadn't eaten in a while and that he needed food and water. She brought him some hay and water and watched as he ate it all. As Elizabeth continued to visit the horse, she gave him more food and water, and he slowly began to gain weight. She could see that he was getting stronger and healthier every day. Elizabeth was happy that she was able to help him, but she knew that he still needed a lot of care and attention. Elizabeth decided to take the horse home with her. She knew that she couldn't leave him alone in the field anymore. He needed medical attention and a warm place to stay. When she told her family about her plan, They were very supportive and helped her bring the horse home. In the beginning, the horse was very scared and tense whenever Elizabeth tried to approach him. He would often try to bite or kick her, and she had to be careful not to get hurt. However, Elizabeth was determined to win the horse's trust, and she didn't give up. She continued to visit him every day, bringing him food and water and talking to him in a gentle voice. Slowly but surely, the horse began to relax around Elizabeth. He started to wag his tail and even nuzzle her hand when she pet him. Elizabeth was overjoyed to see the progress that the horse was making, and she continued to work with him every day. Elizabeth knew that the horse needed a name. She thought about it for a while, and one day she decided to name him Hope. She thought it was a fitting name for a horse who had been through so much and was now slowly getting his life back on track. One day, Elizabeth was petting Hope, and she noticed that he was trembling. She was worried that he might be sick or hurt, but she couldn't tell because he was so big and strong. Hope seemed to be in pain, but he was trying to hide it. Elizabeth didn't want to make things worse, so she stayed calm and tried to comfort him. She knew that the best thing to do was to be patient and let him relax. Slowly but surely, Hope began to calm down, and Elizabeth could feel his body relaxing under her touch. She continued to pet him and talk to him in a gentle voice until he fell asleep. Elizabeth was so relieved to see that Hope was okay. She knew that he had a long way to go, but she was happy that she was there to help him. As time went on, Elizabeth continued to work with Hope. She spent hours brushing him, walking him and talking to him. She also worked with a veterinarian who helped her treat his wounds and make sure that he was healthy. With Elizabeth's love and care, Hope began to thrive. He was no longer the skinny, scared horse that she had found in the field. He was now a happy, healthy animal who loved to play and cuddle. Hope lived a long and happy life with Elizabeth. He became a beloved member of the community and was known for his gentle nature and intelligence. This story is a great example of how patience and kindness can make a big difference in the life of an animal. With a little understanding and care, Elizabeth was able to transform Hope's life from being a scared, skinny horse to a happy, healthy animal. If you have ever had an experience with an animal that was scared or hurt, we would love to hear about it in the comments below. We would also love to hear which heroic tale you would like to see next. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on our next exciting story. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching and see you next time.